Hier bij het hoofdkantoor van Warner Bros. In Amsterdam gaan we de game Lord of the Rings War in the North bekijken. Ook gaan we de producer spreken.
A new fellowship rises in the north. Greater than Dunedain blades.
Lord of the Rings War in the North is an action RPG. It's very co-op focused, so it's really fun to play with your friends. And it has an entirely new Lord of the Rings story. So if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and want to get more into the universe and explore Middle-earth more, or if you're a fan of action RPGs and want to play a game on the couch with your friends, it's a great game for that. Co-op is definitely the best way to play it, and it's more fun co-op. But if you play it single player, then AI will take over the other characters, and you'll be able to depend on the AI for support as well. About a year and a half ago, we were sort of looking at the game and seeing what was the best part of it. And we found that, the co-op was really the best part of the game. It was the funnest part. Having the classes work together was really great. So we decided to focus on that and really make that like the heart of the game. So all of the combat and design development we've been doing since that time has really been to make co-op really strong and fun. Basically, for Lord of the Rings fans, some of the areas and characters are from the films. Some of them are from the books that weren't in the films, like Elrond's sons, Elladan and Elrohir, and the Radagast, the Brown Wizard. They weren't in the films, but they were in the books. And then there are some characters and locations that are completely new, but that are based on things in the books. So, for example, we have a dwarf fortress in the Grey Mountains. It's a new area, but we know there were dwarves in the Grey Mountains, so we're able to sort of extrapolate from that. At the beginning of the game, you actually start by talking to Aragorn, and he's the one who sends you to the north to investigate these buildups of armies. So the first character you meet is one that you're very familiar with from the films. Later in the game, you'll go to Rivendell, and you get to speak to some of the Fellowship members there, right before they set off toward the south, toward Mordor. So the three characters, they were all in Sarnford during the Nazgul attack. So when the Nazgul traveled into the Shire to find Frodo in the Ring, they traveled through Sarnford, where there was a ranger encampment, and that was discussed in the books. So one of the characters is a ranger who was part of Aragorn's camp there at the Sarnford, part of the Grey Company. The elf, Andriel, is Elrond's agent, so she's been traveling around Middle-earth gathering information for him. And she's stopped to talk to the rangers about, some of the buildups of armies and ask them what they know. Farin, the dwarf, is from the Lonely Mountain, Erebor, and he's traveled to the Shire to help guard it because his people owe a debt to Bilbo Baggins for what Bilbo did during the Five Armies battle. So he's traveled to the Shire himself and joined up with the Grey Company to help guard the Shire. So those three characters are all in Sarnford for different reasons, but kind of the same overall reason. And the three of them decide to travel north to Aragorn to tell him what happened about, that the Nazgul attacked and what happened from that attack.